Hello guys, my name is Nang Park. This is a presentation about foreigners in Seoul. I visited Itaewon, which is popular location in Seoul, and is considered to be an international location in Seoul. So if you go to Itaewon, you can see a lot of restaurants and stores aimed at foreigners. And actually foreigners, they hang out in Itaewon with their friends, and they stayed at major hotels in Itaewon. I've answered some questions, and the firstly, what nationalities I have seen in Itaewon, and predominant nationalities, and what if I have seen interracial couples, and if different nationalities act differently, and reactions between Koreans and foreigners, and if foreigners, they have been familiar with the Korean culture. So first, what nationalities? Mostly I have seen Americans and Arabians, Nigerians and Asians. And predominant nationalities were mostly Americans and Arabians. I think it's because first there was military base near Yongsan Garrison, and that's why a lot of Americans, the U.S. soldiers, they worked there, and that's why after they finished working, they come to Itaewon and they enjoy night flight. And also I found Islamic worship place for Muslims, so I could see a lot of Arabians. Interracial couples. Yeah, I have seen a lot of interracial couples, even married couples with their kids. But mostly they were Asian women with Western men. But it was really hard to find Asian men, and with a Western woman. I don't know why, but it was really hard. And what made me interested was that the foreigners, Western men, they were trying to speak, trying to communicate with their girlfriends or wives, whatever, in English, in Korean. So I was really surprised, and they seemed like they were Korean. So it was really interesting for me. And also different acting. I can say Americans, they were like energetic, and for them it was real like easy to approach to someone anywhere and to any nation. But what is difference between Nigerians and Americans? Nigerians were, even they are like same black people, but they have same skin color, but they were more like quiet, and they like to hang out in just with the in-group members instead of approaching to like other groups. When they are with the in-group members, they tend to be noise and like active, but when they are themselves, they are really quiet. And reactions between Koreans and foreigners. During past few years, Koreans, they have changed their behavior toward foreigners. Before they felt kind of like insecure, or they had a fear about foreigners, but nowadays it's really nowadays a lot of things changing, and we can see like foreigners in Korea a lot. So Koreans, they are mostly kind, and also foreigners, they act like kind. But I heard from my friends who came from Canada, and he told me that he has learned in his country that Koreans are really shy, and they are conservative, and it is they tend to not allowed like foreigners or other like strangers to approach them easily. So they were they were educated in that way. So sometimes foreigners, they hesitate to approach like foreigners. And also I can talk about linguistic problem if when Americans or foreigners who can speak English, they approach Koreans who don't know how to speak English. They ask, but sometimes the Koreans, they just like run away or they ignore. So it's because of because they don't know how to speak English. Being familiar with the Korean culture, yeah, foreigners nowadays, they have been familiar like with they try to be familiar with the Korean culture. For example, K-pop. I can talk about K-pop because nowadays a lot of foreigners, they listen to K-pop and they like K-pop like stars and singers. And yeah, I think it's the one thing that they are trying to be familiar. And also learning language is one of big parts. It's one of the big parts of being familiar with the other culture. So they are trying to learn Korean, even though it's really hard for them. They don't make a complete and complete and perfect sound or word in Korean, but they try to learn it. So I guess this is the end of presentation. Thanks for watching.